Welcome back to Mac Talks Football, and Bayer Leverkusen have defeated Borussia Mönchengladbach at 3-1, and they have kept pace with Bayern Munich at the top of the table. So let's go ahead and talk about this game. I mean, it was an expected win, to be very honest with you. The game sort of went the way that I expected it to go. I did say that it was going to be an easy win for Leverkusen in my prediction, and it was an easy win. Like, it was, they scored right at the end for a consolation goal courtesy of Kleindis. But apart from that, I think it was a really good performance, really smart performance by Xabi Alonso's men. The way that the way that they have come back, as in the last couple of months, right at the back, continuously winning the games. It is a really a great show of a character by the entirety of that team and management, the way they have come back. And speaking of today's game, it basically, they kept it simple. It's in one word, that's what they did. They did not try to overdo it. They did not try to be special. They did not try to act like they are better than Mönchengladbach, which they are. But they were basically humble in that game, if you get my point. Like, they just played their simple normal football, and they outplayed Mönchengladbach in every department. Mönchengladbach were not really able to hold off to the midfield players. Xhaka dictating the play. Ritz, I mean, that guy is something special. A lot at the moment. I think a lot of people try to and they give credit to Jamal Musiala, which he should really, he deserves all that credit. But I think Fabian Ritz doesn't get that much that much credit that he deserves, if I'm being very honest with you. He is a really special player, and he continuously keeps on showing that. And again, to this performance, you could just see the way that he moves away, the way that he, I think for me, if you the on the ball movement is one thing, but then the off the ball movement is something really else. And I really like that the players that who can who move when they don't have the ball, what they do without the ball is really good. And I like that in a player. And Ritz is special. He's continuously on the move. That is why you would see one time he's at the number 10 position, he would be on the right wing, left wing, he's back at defending, his and striker as well. So he's a really special player, and he is every game he's showing that. And I think they are really in a way lucky that they have Ritz at front of the midfield, and then you have a player like Xhaka, who mentally is so strong, and he can spot a pass from anywhere, and he knows how to make those passes. I mean, that midfield battle is really special for Bayer Leverkusen, and I think that is a really great thing that they have. And they totally outplayed Mönchengladbach, to be very honest with you. It was a really great performance. Every time you thought that Mönchengladbach are trying to make a comeback, Leverkusen went ahead and they scored the goal. When again they were 1-0 up in the first half. Second half, they scored a couple of good goals, and it was basically quite a simple performance, and quite a good calm, composed performance by Leverkusen. They needed that. They would Bayern Munich really had to work their hearts off for that win, but Leverkusen made it quite simple. It was Wolfsburg played Mönchengladbach last weekend, so it was quite a funny thing that both of these teams were playing, the two teams that played each other, and it just showed. Last weekend Mönchengladbach got thrashed by Wolfsburg, and this weekend in a way they basically got thrashed by Leverkusen, but in a more respectful way, if you get what I mean. So a great performance, a great result, and they continue to march on. I mean, all three title contenders, in my opinion, have won their game. Bayern Munich, Frankfurt defeated Dortmund, then Munich win early on in the morning, and now Leverkusen have won as well. So three big teams, three big games, and all three of them have won. So we are basically at the same situation where we started the weekend in terms of the title challenge. On the other hand, if we talk about Gladbach, I mean, their return from after New Year's has not been really good. I still think they have a chance. They have an outside chance of somehow qualifying for Europe, but I think it's going to be really hard for them. I think when the transfer window was happening, I said that Kleindis is going to be one of the best buys of the season, and it is showing. Like, even though they are losing matches, he somehow manages to score goals. I think he again had a good game. Unfortunately for him, there was not that much service for him where he could have done anything, but whenever he had the ball, whenever he had the chance, he was creating problems for Leverkusen, and in the end he was the one to spoil their perfect clean sheet as well. So Mönchengladbach, they really need I don't think they are going to get ready. I keep on saying that there's an outside chance of them qualifying for Europe, but it's starting to get a little bit hard if you're continuously going to lose the games, and then you're going to lose the games by big margin, especially when the league is so tight and so many teams are fighting for those European places. You really need to think about that as well. I keep on saying this. I understand it's very easy to sit back and say all those stuff, but still, I mean, if you can really understand that you are in such a peculiar position when you are going to lose the game, you can really feel it. I sometimes think that teams need to be, and the managers need to use their height and make sure that the goal difference doesn't get affected. I mean, if you look at that, they've considered 5 last weekend and they considered 3, so that's 8 goals, and they just scored 2, so that's -6 in just 2 games. So even if they are, level on points at the end of the season, that -6 might come in a big play, and they might lose the chance of qualifying for Europe because of just that. So I sometimes feel that teams should really look at that as well. In terms of performance, I think it was nothing spectacular from them, but I think they are not really to blame. I just think that Bayer Leverkusen was just superior to them, and they were really good in that regard. And Mönchengladbach couldn't really do that much. They did not create that many chances as well. And nor did Leverkusen. I mean, Leverkusen did their thing. I mean, they were very clinical. As I said before, whenever Mönchengladbach tried to come back into the game, they would just up there go into an extra gear and go ahead and score a goal, and then Gladbach would be down, and it would take them time to recover and try to come back again. And then it was like again, I'm using a boxing analogy. I've done that a lot today. It was like a superior boxer just making sure that the inexperienced boxer is down and out and is having his fun with it, and that's what Leverkusen did. So yeah, quite a fun game if you're a Leverkusen fan. As a neutral, it was not really that much of a fun game. If I'm being very honest with you, it's quite an easy boring game as well, because there was not really that much a fight from Mönchengladbach side, and I think that was in a way a bit sad. I think it was a very good performance from Leverkusen. So yeah, they would be really happy. And again, the title challenge, as I said, 3 big teams, all 3 of them have won. So it keeps on going. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think the games between these 3 are going to be very crucial. And Leipzig, I thought again, I don't know what has happened to them. They were 3-0 up against Bochum, and they ended up drawing that game. They've lost another couple of points. I think Leipzig are done. If in terms of the league, I think they now really have to concentrate and make sure that they finish in the top 4, because they, again, as I said, there are so many teams fighting for those European places. But in terms of the title, I think it's between these 3, and the way that these teams are performing, it's going to be quite interesting until the end of the season. It's still a long way to go, so you don't really know. There are going to be a lot of twists and turns, but it's looking like quite a healthy and a healthy competition and interesting competition for the title challenge. So yeah, that's it from me in this video. Let me know what you guys thought of the game, what you guys thought of Leverkusen's performance, Gladbach's performance, and what do you think of the title challenge? Who do you think is going to be the champions this year? Bayern Munich, Frankfurt, or Bayer Leverkusen? Let me know in the comment section below. And who do you want to win as well? Let me know in the comment section below. Like the video, share it as well. Click on the notification bell, and of course subscribe to the channel. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers as quickly as possible, so please go ahead and subscribe and help the channel out. Until next time, bye bye.